There's a moment, just before you fall asleep when your mind is most open. That's when the strangest thoughts slip in. Maybe you've had it. A flash of something in the sky, a shape that didn't belong. You blinked and it was gone. You told yourself it was a plane, a satellite, a trick of the light. But something inside you didn't believe it. What if I told you that you're not the first? That for over 5 millennia, humans across every continent have looked up and seen something. Something that defied explanation, something that didn't fit the sky they knew? This isn't just about UFOs. This is about a pattern. A thread woven through mythology, war, science, and silence. And the deeper you pull, the more you realize we've been watching the sky wrong. Not because we don't see clearly, but because we keep trying to fit the unexplainable into boxes that were built for the ordinary. Let's start where it all began. Not in 1947, not with Kenneth Arnold's flying saucer, but in the dust of ancient Mesopotamia. The Sumerian priests of the 2nd millennium BCE didn't write about spaceships. They wrote about black meteors, objects that changed shape as they moved across the sky. They called them divine signs. But look closer. These weren't stars or comets. They were observed, recorded, and feared. The language is different, but the phenomenon, suspiciously familiar. Fast forward to 1561, Nuremberg, Germany. At dawn, the entire city watches an aerial battle unfold above them. Spheres, crosses, black spears, crashing into walls, exploding in midair. An artist, Hans Glaser, etches the scene into a broadsheet. It's labeled a portent, a warning from God. But what if it wasn't divine? What if it was documented? This wasn't a hallucination. Hundreds saw it. And yet, we've dismissed it as superstition. Why? Because we've always done that. When the sky gives us something we can't name, we give it a story. Gods, demons, meteors, drones. The label changes, but the object remains. Now jump to 1947. Kenneth Arnold sees 9 shiny objects skipping over the Cascade Mountains, like saucers on water. The press misreads the metaphor. Flying saucers are born. The modern UFO era begins. But here's the twist. The US military didn't react with skepticism. They reacted with fear. By 1948, the Air Force launches Project Sign, a classified effort to track and report any unidentified object in US airspace. The directive? If it's not ours, report it immediately. And report they did. Thousands of cases. By 1952, the project is rebranded Project Blue Book, and over 12,000 incidents are filed. But the public gets a single line. It was a weather balloon, a convenient lie, a smokescreen. And then, in 1969, Blue Book is shut down. No threat, they say. No extraterrestrial origin. Case closed. But the files? They didn't stop growing. They just went deeper underground. In 2007, the Pentagon quietly opens a new office. The Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. A tip. Secret funding. No public oversight. For over a decade, pilots, radar operators, and intelligence analysts continue to log encounters. Objects that accelerate from 0 to hypersonic speeds in seconds, that make 90-degree turns without decelerating, that move against the wind. And then, in 2017, the dam breaks. The New York Times publishes leaked footage. The Tic Tac-shaped incident. A Navy F-818 tracks a smooth white oblong object that appears on radar, then visually. No wings, no exhaust, no sound. It moves like nothing on Earth. And the pilot? He's stunned. There's a whole fleet of them, he says. They're surrounding us. But here's what the footage doesn't show. The radar anomaly. The object wasn't just invisible, it was incoherent. 1 second it's 60 miles away. The next it's right in front of the cockpit, without crossing the space in between. The sensors saw it but couldn't track it. It was as if the object existed outside our normal understanding of physics, and this isn't isolated. In 2024, the Pentagon releases a report. 757 unexplained aerial phenomena in 1 year alone, over half observed by military personnel. Some are spherical, some are cubes, some are dark, metallic, and silent. And about a third, no data, no speed, no trajectory, just presence. Now let's pause, because here's the real question. Why now? Why are we seeing more than ever? The answer isn't aliens, it's cameras, it's radar, it's awareness. The US has more sensors in the sky than any nation in history. Military radars, airport networks, weather satellites, consumer drones. We've turned the atmosphere into a surveillance grid. And the more we look, the more we see. But also our culture in the US. 4 out of 10 UFO reports come from here. Not because aliens love America, but because Americans look up. They film everything, they post it, they tag it UFO. In other countries, a strange light might be called a spirit or a storm omen. In California, it's instantly labeled. The naming fuels the noticing, and then there's the black projects, the things the government won't talk about. Take the Llyn Peninsula photo from 1990. 2 hikers in Scotland capture a perfect black triangle hovering over the hills. Below it, a Harrier jet like an escort. The photo vanishes into the UK Ministry of Defence archives. 30 years later, it resurfaces, pinned to a board in a retired press officer's closet. It's stamped Defense Intelligence Staff, and not for foreign eyes. If it was a fake, why classify it? Skeptics say it's a double exposure. But here's the detail they miss. The cloud reflection on the object's surface. The shadows match the sun's position. The Harrier is real, confirmed by flight logs. This isn't a Photoshop job. It's a moment in time that someone wanted to forget. And then there are the ancient puzzles, not myths, not carvings, physical evidence. In 2024, Mexican physicists place muon detectors beneath the Pyramid of the Sun in Teotihuacan. These are the same tools used to find hidden chambers in the Great Pyramid of Giza. What they discover is a spiral tunnel, 180 meters long, descending 48 meters below the base, coiled in 3 perfect clockwise turns. At the end, a 10-meter-wide chamber. Now here's the kicker. The spiral matches the carvings on the pyramid's upper terrace. The same serpent Quetzalcoatl is etched into the stone, its body forming the exact same spiral. Coincidence or blueprint? Archaeologists won't dig. The structure is too fragile. But they plan to send a micro camera down an old borehole. If they find gold, mercury, or ancient records, it could rewrite history. This isn't a drainage system, it's a vault. And if it was meant to be found, why hide it 48 meters underground? And then there's the Biu, Tuan people Marid of Mali. For centuries, they've told a story of Nomo, the amphibious beings who came in a metal egg that roared like thunder. They landed in a lake, emerged half man, half fish, and taught the Dogon about the stars. They spoke of Sirius, a bright star. But they also spoke of Sirius B, a small, dense, invisible companion star. They described its orbit, its weight, its color. This star wasn't discovered by Western astronomy until 1862, but the Dogon knew it centuries before telescopes. How? Some say it was contamination, missionaries whispering secrets. But the Dogon worship this knowledge. They call it Nyama, the life force of the fish god. They still perform the Sigi ritual every 60 years, waiting for the return of the metal egg. Is this contact or collective memory of something older? And what about the war Utsuro-bune foot of Japan? In 1803, fishermen pull a strange vessel from the sea. A circular lacquered boat, about 2 meters wide, with glass windows and strange writing. Inside, a young woman with copper-colored hair and a sealed box she refuses to open. They return her to the sea. For 200 years, it's dismissed as folklore. Then in 2024, 7 eyewitness engravings surface in a private collection. The drawings show a disc-shaped craft with symbols that resemble a mix of Sanskrit and Arabic. The boat is hermetically sealed. No oars, no sails. Could this be a failed experimental vessel from the Edo period, or something else? And now, the most provocative clue of all, interstellar dust. In 2014, a fireball streaks over Papua New Guinea, moving faster than any known solar object. It's cataloged as M1OCE. In 2023, astrophysicist Avi Loeb drags the ocean floor and finds microspheres, tiny melted beads of metal. But their composition? Beryllium, lanthanum, uranium, in ratios found nowhere on Earth and in no known meteorite. They look like droplets from a man-made alloy forged in extreme heat. Loeb's theory? This was a piece of an interstellar probe, perhaps from another civilization. And if he's right, we've already touched alien technology, not in the future, now. But let's not ignore the fakes. In 2025, A video of a skyscraper-sized UFO over Oregon goes viral. Millions believe it. Then the truth. It's a 3D render made for a portfolio. The creator didn't expect it to spread. But here's the real story. The fake did more damage than any truth ever could. It drowned out real data, it made people laugh, and it proved something terrifying. In the age of algorithms, a 3-second clip can fool millions. Truth takes hours to verify. Lies go viral in seconds. So where does that leave us? We have ancient myths that mirror modern sightings. We have radar tracks of objects that break physics. We have physical artifacts, spirals under pyramids, microspheres from another star, black triangles over Scotland. We have pilots, scientists, generals saying we don't know what this is. And yet, the official line remains. No evidence of extraterrestrial origin. But that phrase, extraterrestrial origin, is a trap. It assumes the answer is aliens from another planet. What if it's not? What if these objects are interdimensional? Or time travelers? Or our own future technology looping back? Or what if there's something older, something that's been here all along watching, waiting, just beyond the edge of perception? The sky isn't empty. It never was. We just stopped knowing how to see. So next time you look up, don't just scan for planes. Look for the anomaly. The thing that doesn't move right, the light that doesn't flicker, the shape that makes your brain stutter because the sky is full of stories. And the most dangerous one isn't that they're out there. It's that we've been trained not to see them. If this video made you look up, really look up, hit like, subscribe, and in the comments tell me, what's the strangest thing you've ever seen in the sky? Because the truth, it's not just in the files, it's in your memory. See you in the next one.